Equatorial Guinea is Africa's third largest oil producer, but despite $3 billion in annual oil revenue, most of the population lives in dire poverty. Human rights groups say President Teodoro Obiang Nguema's inner circle has siphoned off most of the country's oil wealth. President Obiang's lopsided re-election victory last year led many human rights groups to...
Today, we delve into the extravagant life of one of Africa's most flamboyant vice presidents, Teodorine Nguema Obiang Mange, a man who lives like a celebrity, surrounded by supermodels, fast cars, and yachts in the most luxurious destinations across the globe. But here's the catch. While he bathes in wealth, 78% of Equatorial Guinea's population lives below the poverty line. His father, Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo, has ruled Equatorial Guinea since 1982, an astonishing 43 years in power. Meanwhile, Teodorin himself has been vice president since 2016, benefiting from nepotism, corruption, and a political system designed to serve the ruling elite. How his father took over power. In 1979, Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo seized power in Equatorial Guinea through a bloody coup, overthrowing his uncle, Francisco Macias Nguema. Obiang's rise was marked by ruthless ambition, military force, and strategic political alliances. Once in power, he consolidated control by leveraging the country's newfound oil wealth. But at what cost? His regime is infamous for severe human rights abuses, political oppression, and widespread corruption. Despite international condemnation, he remains one of Africa's longest-serving leaders. The economy of Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea boasts one of Africa's highest per capita GDPs at $12.34 billion in 2023, thanks to its vast oil reserves. But here's the shocking part. This wealth never reaches the people. 76.8% of the population lives in extreme poverty, struggling to afford basic needs. Healthcare is inadequate, education is underfunded, and clean water is a luxury for many. The country's Human Development Index, HDI, ranks 133rd globally, exposing the stark inequality between the ruling elite and the ordinary citizens. The rise of the president's son, Teodorine, born June 25, 1968, has been handed powerful government positions purely because of his father's rule. Presidential advisor, 90s, his first political role. Minister of Agriculture and Forestry for 15 years. Second Vice President, 2012, responsible for Defense and Security. First Vice President, 2016, continued his control over Defense and National Security. Minister of National Defense and Security, 2018. Head of the Anti-Corruption Commission, 2022. The irony speaks for itself. Teodorine's rapid political rise is a textbook case of nepotism and corruption. But let's talk about what he does with his power. A life of extreme luxury, while citizens suffer. Imagine this. While nearly 80% of his people struggle to survive on less than $2 a day, Teodorine spends his time in $75,000 a night penthouses in New York. His social media is a shameless display of excess, private jets, a $275,000 crystal-covered glove once owned by Michael Jackson, multi-million-dollar sports cars, designer clothes worth more than a year's salary of an average citizen.
Bye-bye. President Obiang and his family must enjoy the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Otherwise, why would he have another mansion just down the road? And across the continent, another. Los Angeles' luxurious Beverly Hills area is home for Teodoro Jr. Remember him? He's the son who likes the fast cars and fancy suits. Swimming pools, movie stars, and an African prince. Where is the owner of the property?
This is the African prince.
An African prince?
Yeah.
Back home in Equatorial Guinea's slums, last year the economy grew a massive 60%. It is the fastest growing economy on earth. Near to none of the country's 500,000 people see a brass razoo from this. Why don't you do the right thing? Get out of Equatorial Guinea, turn your back on this corrupt dictator.
Let's assume that every oil company, U.S. oil company, gets out. How fast do you think it would be before the French and other international oil companies are in there?
While Teodorine enjoys the finest luxuries, hospitals in Equatorial Guinea lack basic medical supplies, schools are underfunded, and essential services remain inaccessible. The government controls the press, silencing any opposition with an iron fist. International crackdown on his corruption. Authorities worldwide have taken action against Teodorine's blatant corruption. His $30 million Malibu mansion, private jet, and luxury cars have been seized by US and European authorities, yet he continues to live a life of unimaginable wealth, seemingly untouched by international sanctions. This is because the most effective people to hold him and his father accountable are the Equatorial Guineans themselves. This is the same for other African countries where their citizens look up to international organizations to sanction their corrupt politicians. That will not work because the corrupt African politicians work hand in hand with the leaders of many international organizations. The bigger picture, African leaders and corruption. Teodorine is not an isolated case. His story represents a much larger problem across many African nations. Leaders who hoard wealth while their people suffer in poverty and neglect. This is the reality of governance in many parts of sub-Saharan Africa, selfish, corrupt, and out of touch with the struggles of the people. What do you think? Now we turn to you. What do you make of Equatorial Guinea's leaders? Should Teodorine be held accountable for his corruption? Is there hope for the people of Equatorial Guinea? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more eye-opening content from African Wahala. Until next time, stay informed and demand accountability.